hobby. It's even spawned two successful television shows for fans of the practice. Well, after what you see tonight, you may want to be more careful. Chief Correspondent Chris Wallace is here with the results of a 3-month primetime investigation. Chris?
Diane, Americans spend more than $2 billion a year buying a piece of history. But too often they end up with something that's brand new. We wanted to find out what the antique shopper is up against. So for this story, which was first broadcast last year, we went to Atlanta, one of the country's hottest antique markets. We shopped everywhere, from flea markets to fancy antique stores. The only difference was we brought along some experts who could spot the fakes in reproduction. We began looking for fakes at this country auction, one of thousands held across the U.S. each weekend. Primetime producers were equipped with hidden cameras and accompanied by our two experts, William Klein, a certified appraiser, and Mark Cervenka, publisher of Antique and Collectors Reproduction News. They soon spotted a popular collectible, this Red Riding Hood cookie jar. The auctioneer didn't say it was old, but McCoy was a famous maker of vintage cookie jars, so anyone collecting them might think a signed McCoy was a sure bet. To buy it, we had to pay $210. The auctioneer said that this was a signed McCoy. Is it?
Well, it's signed McCoy, but unfortunately, McCoy never made the original Red Riding Hood cookie jar.
The original was made by another company. The signed McCoy was just a reproduction.
So even though that is signed McCoy, it's not the real McCoy.
So we paid $210 for our real McCoy. What is it really worth?
Well, without the cookies, maybe $20, $40.
And $40 is what we found another Red Riding Hood selling for at the flea market the day after the auction. That was our introduction to the world of collectibles and antiques, where things aren't always what they seem.
Every day, thousands of items are sold that are not what they're represented as.
And in fact, how old are some of these pieces?
Last year, last month, 2 weeks ago.
What are the chances when I go out to buy an antique, I'm going to get something?
Depending on where you're buying it, probably 2 out of 10. But it will be new.
As we saw with the Red Riding Hood, the signatures or marks on the bottom can be deceiving. And we kept it in mind when we visited an antique store where several dealers leased fakes. We found this glass vase, which on the bottom was stamped Durand, an American glassmaker in the early 1900s. We asked the saleswoman how the dealers knew it was authentic.
The dealer of this, I mean, we have to know your pieces, and she and her husband did.
It's not even close.
Our expert said the Durand vase was a safe, and the giveaway was that mark on the bottom. On real Durands, the signature is engraved into the glass, while ours had a stamp. Later, we saw how easy it was to apply such a mark, with an ink pad, acid, and a rubber stamp. We paid $625 for an authentic Durand.
That piece new would run you about $100 to $150.
So, after just 2 purchases, we had paid $835 for items our experts said were worth only $190.
Do dealers know they're selling fakes?
Yes
and no. The dealers out there that are selling fakes every day know it, doing it because the money's in it. Is it the majority? No. A lot of it's just out of ignorance.
What does it mean if you're an antique dealer?
It's no license. There's no licensing. Anybody can hang up a shingle. You can become an antique dealer tomorrow. It's that easy.
At this antique show, we learned the signature or mark isn't the only problem. You can't always rely on the dealer's word either. She said it was a piece of old skin silk, but it turned out to be a plastic safe. We paid $100 for something our experts said was worth only $20. You'll appreciate it. At another flea market, we were told this was a Nippon vase, a valuable Japanese trophy. It even had the mark on the bottom. But our experts pointed out that in the real mark on the right, the rising sun is filled in. And they had more proof that we had bought a fake. Mr. Klein, you come armed with something that's very similar to our Nippon vase.
Well, here's an example that we bought at one of the reproduction houses.
Buying it as an authentic Nippon, we paid $84. As a reproduction, it should cost about $40. In fact, there's a huge industry in reproduction, almost $1 billion a year. They're primarily made in Southeast Asia and shipped to the U.S. by the boatload.
It's important in 40-foot sea crates with electronic goods or garments with mass production of brand new antiques. Absolutely. You can see warehouse rooms of 100,000 square feet lying 20-foot high loaded with antique reproductions.
The reproductions end up at wholesalers like this that we visited with a hidden camera. We found Chinese-made quilts, old-looking toys, and all kinds of signed artwork. Remember that Nippon vase? Well, here's where our expert bought his. While wholesalers are upfront about selling reproductions, by the time it gets to the store or auction, that's not always the case.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, the public's being misled.
David Marriott learned about reproductions the hard way. At an estate auction, he paid $8,200 for what he thought was antique French furniture. But Boston affiliate WCBB went to a New York reproduction house and found his pieces selling there for half of what he paid.
I was just a big bag and very antique furniture.
We also learned that just because it's more expensive doesn't mean it's authentic. Consider this mahogany bookcase.
It's $2,200. I would say the first half of it is big.
This man runs a shop in an antique mall. He said the bookcase was a good deal at almost $4,900.
Well, the price is right, and the quality is very good. What can go wrong?
What can go wrong? Plenty, according to our expert.
Maybe English, it may be mahogany, but it's not from the 1800s. Absolutely not.
He pointed out that some of the materials, such as staples and plywood, were not used in the early 1800s. And he said the feet were wrong. Machine-cut pine, not hand-carved mahogany.
It's probably from about 1995. It's brand new piece of furniture.
We paid almost $4,900 for a piece our experts say we could have bought for $3,000. We had a similar experience at a pricey store in one of Atlanta's most upscale areas. The owner showed us the small English chest.
I think this is selling money or something. It's really small.
He said he based his judgment on 25 years' experience.
When you look at hundreds and hundreds of those, you can tell before you walk across the room, you know. But, and it's an international thing.
From across the room, a dealer has knowledge of this type of furniture to be able to tell it's wrong. Stylistically it's wrong, the form is wrong, the size is wrong.
Now, look, he's an expert, you're an expert. Couldn't it just be a matter of opinion?
Absolutely not. Not on this piece.
Well, the dealer said these dovetail joints were hand-cut. Klein said only a machine could make them all exactly the same. And he said the inside of the piece had been sprayed with stain, so it would resemble an antique.
So you're saying that there has been a conscious effort to make this look old?
Yes. We paid almost $3,200 for a chest our experts said was worth about half that. A chest the dealer told us was a great investment.
You can keep this in 30 or 50 years as long as you don't tune and sell it to a third time if that's your thing. Really? Yeah, because it's been it's a real thing.
All told, we spent $9,075 on 6 items. Our experts said should have cost us no more than $4,750. We thought it was now time to go back to some of those dealers to see how they'd react when we told them what they sold us was fake.
Satisfied customer is more important to us than a single sale.
We showed this shop owner the vase that was sold to us as a Duran. The dealers whose piece it was refused to talk on camera. They said if there was a mistake, it was an honest one. And the store owner defended their integrity.
The fact is that most of the people that come in here are ABCs.
Yeah.
They have experts. Isn't it possible that they're buying things here that supposedly are antiques, really are fake, and they never find out about it?
I tell you what I'll do. I will fly your expert in here and let him go through all of our glass, and I will pay you double if there's another piece in here that's not what they say it is.
Right now?
Right now.
So we took her back to the area where we'd seen our vase. And we didn't have to fly in our expert, we brought him with us. He'd seen another piece on the last trip, also represented as a Duran. That he thought was another fake.
Can you open up this?
I don't have a key to open this. This, now see, I don't think this...
Wait a minute, you said
Several of the store runners started having second thoughts. She wouldn't let our expert examine the vase on camera or off, but promised she'd check it out.
If any one of my dealers misrepresented anything in my shop, they would have 30 days to be out.
Not that I could make mistakes.
The dealer who sold us that $4,900 bookcase did agree to talk with us, but he was no longer portraying himself as an expert.
We had some real experts look at the case, okay? And they said it's still in there. Well, I'm glad. Give me the information. I'd like to learn.
So we showed him what our experts had shown us.
Quiet. Staples. There are modern screws throughout there. There's plywood in the back. You see the feet? Mm-hmm. First I don't have it. The feet is, it's hung. And you see how it's cut?
He said he relied on the word of the dealer who sold it to him, and that he always tells his customers to check out on their own anything they buy from him.
So you told them, you can't be sure that this really is 1800. You got to check someplace out. Absolutely. Right? Sure you did that. Absolutely.
But listen to what he actually told our shoppers.
You take this to the and keep that food there, but in this age, you think you should come and see him. Is there any possibility that you knew that you're going to get one of these things, and that you sold it as an answer? No way. My life is not worth lying to anybody.
We also went back to the dealer who sold us a chest for $3,000. The one our expert said was worth about half that.
You said, I've been in the business 25 years, I can see a piece like this from across the room. When you said it was 1820, and you said, right on it was, right on the money, 1820.
So that's why I put that on there. If I have any doubts about a piece, I don't put it on.
Like all the other dealers, he said he based his judgment on what he was told by the person he bought it from.
How much do you know? You made a big deal about the doctor being handmade, in fact, a machine man.
So I was mistaken.
I thought you were an expert.
No, I don't think there are any experts.
All the dealers we bought from said they'd refund our money because it was an honest mistake. We were left wondering how many honest mistakes there are, where people don't have all the help we did and never find out what they really bought. Our experts say it happens all the time.
By the way, all the items we bought were examined by at least 3 experts. So how do you